Fishing nearby captured that video and rescued the two men. Everyone made it out of the water safely, but the boat, not so much. CBS spoke to the two who fell overboard. Listen to this.
By the end of this video, you'll hear about encounters where the line between observer and prey disappeared in seconds. Boats that became targets for reasons no one can fully explain, and moments so disturbing that the people who survived them still can't shake the memory. And one of these stories involves a behavior so calculated and methodical, it'll make you question everything you thought you knew about marine life. If you're a fan of strange, dark, and mysterious stories that sound made up but are absolutely not, then you're in the right place. I upload stories like this regularly, so do me a favor. Sneak into the like button's kayak, but instead of helping him paddle, just silently remove the drain plug and act surprised when things go sideways. And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed and notifications are on, because the next story I post somehow manages to be even more unsettling than this one. All right, let's get into today's stories. On February 10th, 2025, a YouTuber named Matt launched his kayak from the northernmost tip of New Zealand, ready for what seemed like a perfect day. Clear skies, calm seas, a gentle breeze carrying just enough salt air to remind him why he loved solo fishing trips. The plan felt simple: fish for kahawe, drift some live bait, and enjoy the isolation. Matt had done this hundreds of times before. Always prepared, always cautious, always aware of his surroundings. But never once had he encountered what came next. About 30 minutes into his drift, Matt hooked a decent kahawe and began reeling it in. The fish fought hard, thrashing near the surface. Then, without warning, something massive appeared directly behind his kayak. A dorsal fin, larger than any he'd seen before, moving with slow, deliberate precision. Matt froze. The great white shark circled once, then locked onto his rudder, following him with an intensity that felt personal. Matt immediately cut his bait line, hoping the shark would lose interest. It didn't. Instead, it stayed directly behind him, matching his speed, occasionally bumping the rudder. Every paddle stroke felt like an invitation for the shark to strike. His voice cracked as he narrated what was happening. The shark followed for nearly 10 minutes, never speeding up, never falling behind, just tracking him, hunting him. The water stayed eerily calm, amplifying every movement, every ripple. Later, marine biologists reviewing the footage estimated the shark measured over 14 feet long, weighing close to 2,000 pounds. They noted its behavior matched territorial patterns, not curiosity. It wasn't investigating, it was deciding. Matt described the experience as surreal, like being inside a slow-motion predator film. Time collapsed. Every second stretched endlessly. The shoreline felt impossibly far away. At one point, the shark disappeared beneath the surface. Matt kept paddling, faster now, panic setting in. Then, a massive swirl erupted behind him, the shark surfacing briefly before sinking back down. It circled one final time, then swam away. Matt reached the shore minutes later, shaking, breathless, alive. He collapsed on the rocks, overwhelmed by what had just happened. The encounter lasted less than 15 minutes. It felt like hours. The footage Matt posted quickly went viral, amassing over 4.7 million views. Marine experts confirmed the shark exhibited predatory behavior, not play. The only reason Matt survived, they suggested, was that the shark never fully committed to an attack. Matt later admitted he almost didn't record it. He almost just paddled silently, hoping it would pass. But something inside him knew he needed proof, because no one would have believed him otherwise. If a great white tracking someone in open water feels calculated, the next encounter shows what happens when an entire pod decides to work together. In September 2025, a tourist yacht carrying 5 passengers departed from Lisbon, Portugal for a routine dolphin watching tour. The weather stayed perfect. The ocean stretched calm and inviting. Passengers relaxed on deck, cameras ready, excited to spot marine life. Then, someone noticed movement in the water. 3 orcas, swimming in tight formation, heading directly toward them. At first, the sighting felt magical. Passengers cheered, phones raised, capture and video. The orcas circled the yacht once, slow and methodical. Then they dove beneath the surface. A sudden, violent impact rocked the boat, then another. The orcas began ramming the yacht from underneath, targeting the rudder with surgical precision. The strikes came rhythmically, deliberately, as if coordinated. Over the next 15 minutes, the orcas continued their assault. Each strike grew more forceful. The rudder bent, then cracked. Water began seeping into the hull. Passengers screamed. The crew issued a distress call. The orcas never vocalized. They never thrashed wildly. They just worked, focused and efficient, dismantling the yacht piece by piece. Witnesses described it as eerily silent, save for the sound of fiberglass splintering. Since 2020, over 700 orca interactions have been documented around the Iberian Peninsula, with at least 7 boats sunk. Researchers identified roughly 15 individual orcas responsible for most attacks, led by a mature female nicknamed White Gladys. Experts remain divided. Some believe the behavior stems from play, a passing fad among intelligent animals. Others suggest trauma, that a negative encounter with boats sparked revenge-driven attacks. As the yacht listed heavily to one side, a nearby vessel managed to tow it closer to shore, but the damage proved too severe. The yacht sank minutes later, disappearing beneath the waves. All 5 passengers were rescued unharmed. The orcas swam away, vanishing into deeper water without a sound. No celebration, no aggression, just departure. Hundreds of boats have been damaged since 2020. Sailors now avoid certain waters entirely. Spanish authorities issued warnings to stay in shallow areas where orcas rarely venture. Yet, no one truly understands why they target boats, why they focus on rudders, why they work together with such precision. The ocean has always been unpredictable, but this feels different. This feels intentional. If coordinated attacks on boats feel disturbing, the next encounter happened so fast the people involved barely had time to react. On July 23, 2024, Greg Paquette and Rylan Kenny launched their 23-foot fishing boat off the coast of Rye, New Hampshire. The morning felt flawless. Calm seas, clear skies, perfect conditions for striped bass. They spotted a humpback whale feeding nearby, breaching occasionally, swallowing mouthfuls of fish. They kept their distance, respectful but unworried. Whales fed here often. Nothing seemed unusual. Then the whale disappeared. Paquette scanned the water, searching for the whale. Kenny reeled in his line, distracted. Neither saw it coming. The whale erupted from the surface directly beside him, mouth open, propelling fish into the air like fireworks. Time seemed to freeze. Kenny looked up just as the massive creature began falling toward him. Everything happened in 4 seconds. 4 seconds that felt like an eternity. Kenny dove horizontally off the boat. Paquette turned just as the whale's head struck the engine. The impact flipping the vessel sideways. Water exploded around him. The boat capsized, trapping Paquette briefly beneath the hull.
This morning, astounding video of a boat walloped by a whale in the waters of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Watch again, that whale breaching the surface and falling directly on the boat.
He surfaced seconds later, gasping, disoriented, alive. The whale disappeared as quickly as it arrived. 2 teenage brothers, Wyatt and Colin Yeager, were fishing about 200 yards away when Colin noticed the whale breach. He raised his phone just in time to capture the entire sequence. The footage shows the whale midair, fish raining down, the boat tipping violently. Marine biologists later explained the whale was lunge feeding, a high-speed feeding behavior where humpbacks surge toward schools of fish. The boat simply occupied the wrong space at the worst possible moment. The Yeager brothers raced over immediately, pulling Paquette and Kenny from the water. Both men were uninjured, though deeply shaken. The boat remained partially submerged, salvageable but heavily damaged. The whale, remarkably, appeared unharmed. It surfaced once more, then swam away, leaving behind only wreckage and disbelief. Paquette later described the experience as surreal, watching a movie in slow motion. Kenny called it a miracle they survived. The Yeager brothers said they'll never fish without life jackets again. The ocean doesn't care about plans. It doesn't warn you. It just happens. And sometimes all you can do is hold on and hope you surface on the right side of fate. If a whale landing on a boat feels accidental, the next case shows what happens when someone drifts too close to something they never saw coming. In July 2011, a woman named Heidi floated calmly in the turquoise waters off Key West, enjoying a warm afternoon swim. Her friends relaxed on a boat nearby. Music playing, drinks, sweating in the sun. The day felt perfect. Carefree, safe. Just another summer afternoon in paradise. Then, someone on a boat noticed movement in the water. Heidi's friend leaned over the side, squinting at the surface. Dark shapes moved beneath the waves, circling slowly. Sharks, multiple sharks, and they were heading directly toward Heidi. Her friend called out, voice calm but urgent. "Hey Heidi, get in a boat." Heidi laughed at first, thinking it was a joke. "Are you serious?" "Yep." She turned and saw them, fins cutting through the water, circling tighter, closing the distance. Panic flooded her system. She swam toward the boat.
Hey Heidi. Hey Heidi, get in the boat.
Arms thrashing, heart pounding. The footage, later uploaded online, shows Heidi swimming desperately while her friends track the sharks circling behind her. Their voices stay eerily calm, narrating the scene like commentators. "Look at that. They're circling. Look." The sharks never accelerated. They just followed, patient, waiting. Heidi reached the boat and scrambled aboard, gasping, trembling. The sharks lingered for a moment, then disappeared, vanishing into deeper water. She collapsed on deck, laughing nervously, adrenaline still surging.
Holy crap, can you imagine?
Look at that.
see them?
Yeah, they're like circling. Look. Look out. Look.
That would not been fun.
Oh my God. Good thing I came in the boat. Her friend nodded. That would have not been fun. For Heidi, that day became the most unforgettable brush with death of her life. She later admitted she almost didn't get back in the boat, thinking her friends were overreacting. Sometimes survival comes down to listening to someone else's warning. Sometimes it's just luck. And sometimes the ocean reminds you that you're never really in control. If circling sharks feel like a warning, the last story erases all hope of escape. On June 16, 2024, a YouTuber from Scale Up Adventures launched his boat into the Pine River in Queensland, Australia. The plan felt routine. Fish for flathead, record some content, enjoy a quiet afternoon on calm water. The river flowed peacefully. Birds called from the banks. Everything suggested an ordinary day. Nothing hinted at what waited just downstream.
It's been fishing really well, this system lately, so see if we can get another feed.
Mid-afternoon, a man on a jet ski approached, shouting and waving frantically. At first, the YouTuber thought it was a prank. Then he caught the words. "There's a body, a human body, floating in the water." The YouTuber moved closer, camera still rolling. At first, he saw nothing.
Serious? Yeah. A human body.
Then, the shape emerged. Arms, legs, a torso dressed in black, drifting slowly with the current. He stopped recording. The man on the jet ski immediately called water police.
We're just gonna hang around here, I guess, and just so the current doesn't take it away. Can't see a head. Might be. It's definitely legs, arms, black top.
Within minutes, authorities arrived, sealing off the area. Police confirmed the body was real, not a mannequin, not a prank, an actual human being, deceased, floating in a public river where families fished daily.
Okay, so our mate on the jet ski has picked up a copper from the fishing platform, and they're just inspecting what we think's a dead body. It's all going to be happening soon, I think. We don't want to be the one jumping in to find out.
No further details were released. No identity, no cause of death, just silence. The investigation remained open, the case unresolved. The footage ends abruptly, leaving only questions. Who was this person? How did they end up in the river? Why there? Why then? The answers never came. The body was recovered, the scene cleared.
All right, well, yeah, that just happened. Guy on a jet ski just flagged me over. He says, hey, I think I've seen a dead body floating in the water. I'm like, okay, well, let's go have a look. And, you know, I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's a mannequin or something, but whatever it is doesn't have a head. It looks like a person.
Life on the Pine River resumed, though those who witnessed it never forgot. A simple day of fishing turned into a memory no one would ever want to relive. If this video got under your skin, you'll want to watch the next one, because next time I'm covering some of the most disturbing workplace incidents and accidents. Cases where people showed up for a normal shift and what happened after was anything but normal. So if you enjoy strange, dark, and mysterious stories that stay with you long after the screen goes dark, make sure you're subscribed and notifications are on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.